Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. And today I have for you a 2 vs 2 on a Monday novice fight. Yes, indeed, some have been asking for that, so I figured, well, why the devil not had this match, which I thought was pretty novice and still was, well, rather interesting to watch. So at least I hope I remember it right, because I got it quite some time ago. But again, I sort of seem to get a lot of games for Monday novice fights, and trouble is I can only have one Monday novice fight, at least. In theory, I suppose I could travel more another time, but that's usually a lot more energy. But then again, I won't necessarily throw that out the window. But as of yet, only one today, but a 2 vs 2 on McGechaens, so at least that's how I suppose it's pronounced. Not my favorite map, partly due to the pronunciation, but partly due to the fact that it rather falls into routine. It's sort of the same thing over and over again. Some people, right, let's get a better map, Admiral, because yes, we've seen the cemetery or Great Dane. But for example, usually see people set up here and here. So most people ignore here. And well, it tends to get pretty boring. So I know, just my opinion as anyhow, but McGechaens pretty heavy on the bocage, pretty heavy on the buildings in the north, pretty lots of stuff that can block your line of sight, making it easier for people to sneak up on you. But again, also nice spots for mining, barbed wire, tank traps, all that, and fortifications, which in particular in the case of the Brits can lead to some nasty situations. But again, bocage, what do? Well, if you're the Germans and you have some heavy armor, well, you just crash through it. In particular, I remember one case in fact I believe it's several years ago, during the great era of the tiresome era of the Sim cities, where they ruled the bocage seas, where some chap had set up a 17-pounder and all that facing that direction. Oh dear, what do? Crash in with a tiger right through there. The assault knock it all out. So that's of course one thing you of course have to remember. Bocage, tigers, panthers, all the big stuff can crash through it. Even blitzkrieg, regular tanks can. If you activate blitzkrieg, they can actually crash stuff like that, I believe. Lesser known fact, but let's not hang about with that. Of course, this leads to some different options and tactical bits. And of course, we do have this sort of feature, a rather steep hill, which actually is very odd for some of your units to move through. They can't, for example, go through right there for some reason. So, or at least some can't. So that leads to also some oddities. But who shall be fighting well in the north? It shall be the Americans with Gladiatop. What an odd name, Gladiatop. Of the, I don't know, let's just say 2nd Armoured Division. And who shall be fighting alongside him? Strawberrycake. Well, that's, well, pretty British, actually, I suppose. I mean, Churchill during the war actually had to sort of tell his planners to come up with some better operation names, because he rather didn't want to tell at some stage some poor woman's that her brother, son, or husband had died during Operation Bunnyhug or Ballyhoo. So I suppose this is just one very enthusiastic chap going in the wrong direction and going, well, let's call this Operation Strawberry Shortcake, and this shall be Task Force Strawberry Shortcake. Well, shut up, Johnson. Oh. So yeah, there we go. And who shall be opposing them here in the bocage? It shall be jon28jon28. Has a nice sort of rhythm to it, I suppose, of the Panzer Elite. And we have Patriot 1983. Fair enough. Leading the Wehrmacht, and I suppose we'll all say this combined makes the 116th Panzer Division, fighting a combined British and American force in the bocage, with the reconnaissance element on the west and the more solid Panzer Grenadier element, probably the motorized, in the center. And let us begin. And of course, one thing to note in sort of team games for you novices is you usually want to be able to communicate properly. I mean, where you're going, what sort of things do you want, what doctrines are you going, because again, that can mean a lot. That's rather, at least in my opinion, doctrine rather also determines how you fight. So I mean, for example, if you're going for commandos or you're going for engineers or artillery, really all of those things determine how you fight and how you can support your teammate. Because again, if you have artillery, you can probably provide him with a lot of good artillery. Commanders, well, if he needs it, he can perhaps get some commanders right behind him. And there we go, doctrine right away. And Strawberry Shortcake saying that he's going to set up either here or there. Of course, we can't see it because there's no pinging. Saying probably commandos. and going straight for the Bren carrier. That's a bit more interesting, but not uncommon in 2 versus 2 to sort of push your opponents right in the beginning. Of course, question is, will the Wehrmacht commander adapt to this already? And of course, be figuring, well, if I'm fighting a Brit, he's probably going to go Bren carrier sometime sooner or later. And in particular, in 2 versus 2s, they're rather apt to going for the Bren carrier, in which case you probably want to go the bike. Bren carrier charges ahead for King George, crashing through the wooden fences. Damn Kraut fences and a Kraut cart. Panzer Grenadiers heading northwards with the Gewehr 43s, going for all the vital points. It seems like fuel points, for example. And what is the Bren carrier doing? Perhaps it's doing a bit of reconnaissance, and the Bren carrier was actually also built for reconnaissance, or used in reconnaissance units during the war. It was also used for towing stuff and transporting, and of course as a gun platform for machine guns, boys, and I believe even a 2-pound anti-tank gun, stuff like that. Quite a versatile little vehicle, and once captured by the Germans in some amount, it was also used for anti-tank positions. Lots of Panzer Shreks, in fact, sort of a tri-mount. British go for this munitions point, going for lots of other munitions. So of course we're probably going to see a rather heavy infantry focus from Strawberry Shortcake. Bren carrier going in for the Pioneers, the Pionieren. Not looking good for them. We'll have to retreat. Retreat, Patriot. There we go, and yes, we're already seeing a heavy focus on this fuel point, and we're seeing, what is this, an MG42, awfully static. Panzer Grenadiers, oh, they're getting sort of caught up in their own, and lots of engineers from Mr. Gladiatop. Rather odd, no buildings as of yet. Not entirely sure I'm keen on this. I mean, not really much of a fighting capability, and again, against these Panzer Grenadiers inside a building, they're just getting slaughtered.
Lines are collapsing.
Bren carrier moving in to deal with the Kettenkraut, while the counter section just keeps moving about, seizing territory. Another infantry section, and getting a Bren gun right away again due to these sort of ammunitions. Numerous Kettenkrauts just stealing what fuel and what else they can. Serious harassment right there. And Patriot is just being too passive for my liking. I mean, he's going for him machine gun, going for a bunker, but nothing else. Well, there we go, some Volksgrenadieren, but nothing, you know, that could, for example, deal with this Bren carrier. Major issue right there, and we're also seeing some rather passive play from Mr. Strawberry Shortcake, setting up a mortar pit right here. Recon section dealing with these Panzer Grenadiers, shooting them down, but Volksgrenadiers are moving in to provide some slightly more serious fire support, or at least some numbers. Panzer Grenadiers taking heavy losses, need to get out of there, and this is rather where it would have been better to actually wait with this sort of, let's just briefly pause, wait for the marksman shot. Why is that? Well, if they'd killed the 2 Panzer Grenadiers before and then marksman shot, then you could have gotten the entire team and they wouldn't have been able to do anything about it. But now they have used it, and they're finding these Volksgrenadiers, and the Panzer Grenadiers still have one team ready to be reformed, refitted for the fight for the fatherland. Small engagement between Volksgrenadiers, and Volksgrenadiers are out in the open, firing against troops in bushes. Yes, indeed, bushes make it a bit harder to see where they're actually standing. And the Bren carrier comes to the rescue. Brenning in, Bren gun firing. No Vickers though, got the munitions for it. I'd certainly recommend it. A Bren gun with a Vickers machine gun is quite a threat. Volksgrenadiers retreating, no bikes as yet. Further Panzer Grenadiers. Nothing going on in the Wehrmacht base, but still currently the Axis forces of the 116th have been breaking through everywhere, seizing territory wherever possible, doing quite a nice job. Bren carrier opening up, recon section once more moving into support, although 2 men down now. And once more sniping the Panzer Grenadiers. Not quite the situation they want to do it right at yet. I'd still recommend upgrading that Bren gun. But Kettenkraut doing quite a nice job seizing territory wherever they go. Panzer Grenadiers still hanging about in there. I mean, I'd recommend getting them out, letting the MG42 get in there. And engineers with flamethrowers rushing right into it, still using only engineers. I'd figure that Gladiatop is sort of hoping to sort of perhaps wait for something, but again, as you might have sort of noticed, he isn't able to take much territory again because he's relying only on engineers, and he's, even with just Panzer Grenadiers in buildings, running into some serious problems. Patriot again, no, I'm not quite liking this. Also setting up observation post, we're probably going to see some rather heavy vehicling from the 2. They probably already got this figured out, so lots of vehicles, lots of armor, at least fast armor. Engineers once more retreating again, sort of running into a problem right here again, even despite there's not much here, but again, due to the fact he doesn't really have any combat units, and now he's going for a trio center and a weapons support center. Very odd, not really the sort of thing you want to go for, not really much combat power in it. Britons though pushing forwards, recon section hanging about in there. A lieutenant also on the field, moving about. Wehrmacht forces once more on the move. Panzer support commander might be seeing anti-tank half-tracks, might be seeing something else. Further Volksgrenadieren. Moving into Panzerhaus, that brain carrier, that would be a nice shot right there, if they have the munitions for it, or even the phase for it. Have Panzerhaus been equipped for the Volksgrenadiers? Apparently not, and again he's standing about out in the open. Oh, there we go, getting up cover behind the trees, or perhaps they're just sort of figuring, well, we won't be standing out here, stupid bastard. And Bren Gunners moving in from the north, good show there, but and Bren carrier turning about still, I'd recommend it, oh, I don't know. Vickers machine gun, oh dear. Bren Gunners out in the open, Panzer Grenadiers counter-attacking from the south, and the Bren Gunners taking quite a few losses, retreating immediately. Can't be heard Krat sneaking about.
German forces are trying
Dane
to
has a
secure one
cold.
of our sectors.
And Panzer Grenadiers getting burned, or do they? Burn, yes, there we go. Quite scorched, the engineers not taking nearly as heavy losses, but there you go, one engineer down. They could in fact lose, oh dear.
Cut forward supply lines.
Not looking good at all. Let us go have a look at Gladiatop. Volksgrenadiers moving forward. Not really looking good for the Allies at the moment. Again, sort of due to partly a bit too passive on Strawberry Shortcakes, but also the utter lack of fighting infantry on behalf of Gladiatop, who's now apparently getting lots of snipers. Again, decent, but you know, it's not really the thing that's going to be pushing forward the front. You need infantry for that. Recon section holding up the Volksgrenadiers within the range of the mortar pit. Vickers machine gun emplacement going up to sort of defend this point. Not bad, but really I'd recommend a field support truck and perhaps some more infantry at least, or something to support it. And I'd also recommend this Bren carrier getting the troops out, getting them reinforced, and getting a Vickers machine gun while it gets repaired. Panzers moving in. No usage as of yet from the Panzer Support Command, and now currently the 116th is holding most of the territory. Snipers advancing, engineers following up. Mr. Gladiatop not really doing an awful lot. Volksgrenadiers continuing. These, though, could do with getting back for some reinforcements. Charging ahead right here. Hoping to perhaps clear out this mortar emplacement. But British troops are moving in from the rear. And again, you don't want... There we go, retreating. But Bren guns are pretty accurate against retreating troops. You have to be careful about that. But thankfully, Strawberry Shortcake moves his troops. And again, Bren guns are light machine guns. And they need to stand still like the LMG-42 before they can fire. Unlike the LMG-42 though, they can actually hit targets and do some nasty damage. Bren carrier trying to repair. Coming under fire, not looking good. Ken Crab blown up. More reconnaissance troops. No wait, that's... yes, more. But not all troops. Panzer Grenadiers force away the Bren carrier, crashing through some more wooden fences. Swinging for them perhaps a bit. Also quiet snipers advancing. More engineers. Again, I'm not really liking this sort of idea. And again, it's costing him a lot of manpower. I mean, he's losing engineers left and right, and they cost a lot to replace when you lose them like that. And again, because he can't really fight a straight-up fight. Bit of a problem right there. Panzer is holding the east, but at least they're making progress here. Apparently, the Axis forces have been forced away completely. No, a motorcycle on the way, and a Hotchkiss light tank. Apparently, the 116th reconnaissance element has been serviced with some Hotchkiss light tanks from a nearby Panzer replacement battalion. Bike moving forwards. Oh dear, into a mine. At least he sort of figures, oh, that's a mine probably, and moves away. Good show. Question is whether it be minesweepers. Hotchkiss with Wolframen on it, but it's moving forwards continually. No, wait, there we go. No, what's it doing? Come on, Hotchkiss, decide what you want to do, you stupid bastard. Hotchkiss moves forward. British troops rather figuring they can't take on that. That French armor is too much for their tiny rifles. Apparently the brain gun can hit the rear, I'm not sure. But what is he doing? It seems utterly odd. He's sending in unsupported, with no idea what could be in there. Firing on the mortar, it seems. Killing a few Brits. Doing a bit of damage, but not really knocking something out. Volksgrenadiers with MB-40s, which are actually pretty nice against mortar emplacements, charging in the wake of the French light tank now in the service of the Germans, also known as Beutepanzer, meaning booty armor, and slowing them down as Panzer Grenadiers moving in. Oh dear, some rather nasty situation here for Strawberry Shortcake, and chosen a rather open position and only decided to guard one approach and not the other one. Field support truck at the same stage moving in. needs to... Right, what can you do in such a situation? Well, you can pack up your headquarters command truck, then hit retreat, in which case they will retreat through here back to your teammates base or back to the point where your troops enter the map. But don't lose them like this. That's not good, but let's go have a look at jon28jon28. Need to get out of here, please, before you lose more. Mr. Strawberrycake, field support truck sitting up right in front, and more Hotchkiss on the field. Panzer Division as well. Britons getting their ass handed to them. And now the American is doing absolutely nothing. Poor coordination. Why is Strawberrycake not asking for help? Why isn't he getting any help? This is what I constitute as a pretty bad thing. And field support truck will be lost. And has gone for engineering doctrine, calling in the Churchill Mark IV. Field support truck knocked out. Casualty clearing station knocked out. Headquarters command truck needs to get away. Away, I say. And engineers with flamethrowers moving in. Volkswagen is getting away. Hotchkiss moving. Churchill moving forward. And it can actually do quite some nasty bits to those Hotchkiss tanks if it can hit them, that is. And using tank shock on those Panzer Grenadiers. And there we go. Also calling in some Rangers. Jolly good show there. And Panzer Division team knocked out. Hotchkiss is though opening up. Churchill continuing, getting the minesweeper upgrade of the sorts, I suppose, moving in. And there we go, nice hit on the Hotchkiss. Continuing the hunt for the tiny French tanks. Panzer Grenadiers need to retreat in the face of the mighty Churchill, at least comparatively mighty. There we go, a Panzer Grenadier down. Forced to retreat. Will he make it? Will he make it? Apparently he will. But this is not really a happy situation. I'd rather recommend sort of moving away, or at least sort of placing up here. And looks like the forces of the 116th is calling upon the Panzerjägerabteilung with the heads. Of course, they didn't have heads in Normandy, but you know, we have to make do. We could always imagine it's a Stug 3, and the 116th couldn't get any proper Panzerjäger. Which they probably didn't, since in Normandy only 3 divisions really had the Jagdpanzer 4. More or less, others were supposed to get it but didn't, so let's just imagine this is Stug 3, about the same size, and they did also have the remote control machine gun. Moving in on the Churchill, and the Churchill has the rear armor facing. Oh dear, turn around! Turn around! Oh dear. And of course heavy losses for the British, which is around making things difficult, and apparently Patriot has rushed straight for the Panzer Command, my goodness. Sending in the Panther already within 30 minutes. Of course, this is possible in 2 versus 2s, and again, rather possible due to lax teammates, but apparently now he's going for the supply at Gladiatop. But question is, will Strawberrycake be able to hold out?
The enemy is seizing our territory.
And again, rather exposed here, rather heavy losses. Sort of thing sneaking about here in the east, but they might suffer.
We have eliminated the enemy once
And infantry team knocked out. Lots of Rangers, and this is again sort of the thing you might expect for something like that. Lots of elite infantry, in this case Rangers, charging right into the front, not trying to flank because the bazookas are better at the flanking bits. And of course frontal armor of all these things simply struck off the bazookas. Looks like the Panthers are getting out of there. Hotchkiss dealing with the rest here in the east. Not looking good for the Britons. The Allies having placed themselves in a pretty bad situation due to this sort of passiveness, and again, lack of proper fighting power on the behalf of Gladiatop. But here we go, a mistake. The head turns around, it doesn't try to back out. This could be it for the Rangers. There we go, a nice hit on the rear. Panther pulls back for some repairs. Apparently some shots have managed to do a bit of damage. Hotchkiss opens up in support. Hits nothing. Rangers pull back to the headquarters, and I'd rather recommend at this stage that the headquarters sort of rearrange, sets up in a slightly less open positions, perhaps, you know, here, or I don't know, here, something that doesn't make it such a bloody target, because currently it's rather close to the enemy front line, so there's nothing to really protect it. That's generally a bad thing. More Hotchkiss firing. And what means the short-case forces are getting slaughtered again and again.
We have lost a unit.
Field support truck has something underway. What it is, I don't know. Trying to do a bit of harassment there, but a machine gunner in the machine gun bunker, that's too much. That's definitely going over the top right there. Wait. I think someone made a mistake right there because he's still wearing the straps, but he's not wearing the helmet that's supposed to be they're supposed to be attached to. Rangers charging ahead, right at these Volksgunners. Submachine guns versus submachine guns. Who shall win? Probably not the Rangers, since they're taking quite a bit of firepower from the Ostwind, the Panther, and the Hetzer. Rangers retreating, Bren gunners moving in, or at least an intersection with a Bren gun, and apparently some anti-tank weapons as well. Managed to pick up a Panzer that could actually be of help to them, but now the Ostwind is on the move. Ostwind, Flak Panzer. Hetzer moving in from the west. Churchill moves in to stop the Ostwind. Panzer could actually knock out this Hetzer. And artillery on the headquarters. Command truck incendiary barrage, meaning that Mr. I do believe it's time to go like a Patriot has gone for terror. Yes, indeed, terror, while jon28jon28 has gone for tank destroyer. And the Churchill is not looking good, knocked out by the Panther. Hetzer, though, could end up knocked out as well, and the entire British headquarters is on fire. The tea shall be too hot, the crumpets crisped. And an armored command truck arrives at the same time. Nothing going on here. Again, Gladiatop, not really the best of our teammates, but there we go. Hetzer knocked out, a small victory for the British forces. The 11th not going too well in this stage. While the 116th pushes onwards, the 2nd Armoured Division is not provided with any armor. The Rangers it has, and now these infantry troops need to get out of there. Retreat, there we go. And an infantry section again cut down. Strawberry Shortcake has absolutely no idea of unit preservation, it seems. American snipers doing what they can, but this armored command truck needs to get away, not so close to the enemy tanks. Come on, I mean, you don't drive right past them and sort of signal, oh right, I have an armored command truck, this is a priority target for you, kindly knock it out. Bloody well, don't do that. There seems to be a sort of lack of idea of what's going on and what apparently Strawberry Shortcake's doing, because really, he's acting like there's nothing here. And yes, now the armored command truck is getting hunted down by the Hetzer. Rangers moving in, though. Apparently trying to manage something, all of this. Artillery being called in. Rangers getting slaughtered. Artillery and all of this. Veterancy 1, good show. Veterancy 2 on the way. Machine gun emplacement knocked out. Armored command truck going to be knocked out again. Bloody stupid idea to place it there. No kind words there. Headquarters command truck finally setting up in a slightly more defensible place, or at least safe place. British troops hanging about here. No armor for the Allies. I mean, really, this is a terrible situation for the Allies at this stage. Yes, they hold most of the victory points, but they're taking absolutely insane losses, and they're taking losses they shouldn't have been taking in the first place. Something that simple things like, you know, not placing your headquarters command truck so close to the front line, or moving your armored command truck right past the bloody enemy. Now the Hetzers are on a spree, very little to actually oppose them. In fact, all the German armor can do whatever it basically wants. There's very little to actually oppose them at this stage of the fight. Not looking good at all. Hetzer moving in to deal with this machine gun emplacement. Rangers moving in, trying to desperately stop this. Lots of Rangers, but no armor. They need something that can actually take the enemy fire, or at least give the Rangers a chance to not get shot at. Hetzer takes a few rear shots. Another Hetzer driving past. Apparently a lot of tank traps and mines, but well, not much luck there. Another machine gun emplacement getting knocked out. Again, too many resources and machine gun emplacements. Don't be so bloody static at this stage of the fight. You know, you need tanks, you need armor, you need to be able to push on, and they don't really have the ability for that. They've crippled themselves with all of these emplacements. And by placing things so closely. Another Churchill on the move, not entirely sure what it hopes to intend to secure. Sappers on the field. Hetzer getting hunted down, apparently made it through all these tank traps. Apparently there was a small gap. And now the Hetzer makes a heroic runaway or dash for victory, freedom, and let's go have a look at Gladiatop. floating quite a bit of manpower and fuel. How about using it, mate? You know, tank depot or armor depot, whatever you call it. Hetzer hitting a mine. Good show there. At least good usage of mines to some degree, but still floating too many resources. Build something. Call in something. Don't float. You. Well, Churchill facing off against something, forcing away. German positions getting set up there. More armor, more Hetzers. Hotchkiss taking a bit of a hit there.
Sector.
Germans pushing through in the west. Ostwind leading the charge. Lots of tank traps right there. Can't help but feel there's a bit too much on tank traps. Still not enough on using the resources, mate. 1,000 manpower is not a good thing to be floating. Hotchkiss could be knocked out. Will it happen? No. The Hotchkiss makes it to safety. Rangers getting slaughtered. Some need to retreat. Pick up those bazookas. Hetzer knocked out by that infantry section. Doing quite a bit of work there. Churchill quite damaged. New repairs. Rangers charging right in front of the MG. But artillery is called in. They need to retreat. Stop dropping bazookas.
We're losing a munitions point.
Most of the artillery seems to be not hitting.
Artillery support is now available.
But again, don't float that much manpower and fuel. Rangers, more Rangers arriving on the field using these sort of Rangers for infantry bits, securing the central victory point again. Southern one getting taken by the False Grenadiers. Nothing to protect that. Rangers retreating. Germans now seemingly dozing off, figuring they have this now, but that's something you should be very careful about thinking. In particular, they don't really have the infantry to hold the situation, and most of the armor is sort of holding back. Question is, what is Patriot's resources going towards? Is it just veterancy or is it something else? Snipers, apparently? False guys getting fired upon by the machine gun emplacement, getting suppressed. Apparently getting some veterancy as well now. Another Vickers machine gun emplacement and a 17-pounder gun to cover it, but again, flank is open. I mean, that's rather the main problem of a lot of bridges, but apparently in particular this one, it seems sort of figuring, well, one spot is safe, nothing will ever flank it. Yes, it will. Most German players, if they at least know something, will flank you. They will try to flank you, and in this case, they've been doing absolutely nothing to protect the flanks. Panther on the move. Panzer goes charging at the Rangers. Rangers picking up a bazooka, firing away. How many bazookas do these chaps have? 3? Bloody hell. British troops taking quite a bit of fire. Sappers with Piets laying down sandbags. Using camouflage behind them, actually. Ambush, not bad. 17-pounder unable to fire. Panzer equipped Brent. Tommies could fire. There we go, but the shot doesn't penetrate. They need to retreat. Ostwind, on the other hand, taking a bit of damage. Artillery going down somewhere. German troops pushing through here, but of course the munitions point has been secured, so you can't take it. Rangers advancing once more, still no armor. Was I wrong in saying it was the 2nd Armoured Division, apparently? Oh, so many things wrong. Snipers moving about. German sniper advancing, perhaps hoping to get the drop on something. And a howitzer has been prepared for the Americans. Panther advances straight into the 17-pounder gun. Armor-piercing rounds is usually a good thing to use for a 17-pounder gun. Will it happen? Apparently targeting the Ostwind instead of the Panther. Apparently not using armor-piercing rounds, because again that also increases damage, not just penetration. Main gun destroyed. Rangers moving in from the rear. But moving in too close, I fear. Ostwind out of control. Panther taking quite a few shots.
Enemy unit down.
The Ostwind is out for the count. Another Hetzer arrives on the field. Lots of Hetzers. And a Backtiger apparently has also arrived, beginning to pull things together. And a V1 being called in somewhere, but where? Right here, perhaps? Or here? Right here, it seems. Knocking out a bit there. We're not doing an awful lot. Hotchkiss is firing. Rangers charging. Another machine gun in this bunker.
Enemy unit down.
Panther holding the line now with veterancy 3. Hotchkiss almost out for the count, but it apparently carries on. Some Rangers retreat, others move forwards. And this Veteran C3 Panther won't have much to fear from the bazookas. Too powerful at this stage, I'd say.
Enemy unit down.
A hetzer on the flank. Weird.
The enemy is after our victory.
And another Panther has been prepared. Let's go look at Strawberrycake. With apparently now an armored command truck and calling in the Cromwell command tank. A Cromwell already on the field doing what it can to deal with the German infantry. Not bad. Churchill occupying most of the attention. 17-pounder firing in support. Churchill going hull down. Panther taking hits, but again no armor piercing rounds. You have lots of munitions. Use it, damn you. Use it, armor piercing rounds. It's not that difficult. Panther might want to reconsider getting out of there. Calling in artillery on this position. Exposing its rear armor though. Bad, bad, bad. No, Cromwell, don't move too fast. Not in front. Hit the rear, which is exposing. That's pretty bad tank tactics. There we go, hitting the rear armor, but is it too late? No, the Panther goes out of control. The Cromwell scores a kill for King George. And gets out of there safely. Hurrah, huzzah. Hetzer moves into flank. More artillery for the Americans. And what's going on here? Tank traps? I mean, that's not going to do anything. Tank traps aren't a wall. I mean, and never mind the range. It's not going to stop tanks. They can still move up here and shoot the hot damn thing. It's a bit stupid there, but Hetzer on the move. And really looks like the Axis effort has gone completely wonkers. Just a quick look at Patriot, who's apparently not floating resources, but you'd think he was since he barely has anything on the field. Using artillery on this spot, not gaining much. I do believe it's time for the mid-game analysis. What is the situation? Well, having had quite most of the map, the Axis looks like they're actually losing it. Rather interestingly, wasting troops, it seems. Rather constantly, again, too much on buildings, not enough on actually attacking, and too much veterancy, which rather leaves few units, which then proceed to be pretty good targets, because there's not much to support them. Bit of a problem there, lots of Hetzers and Hotchkisses for our other friend, on the recovering some of the armor with that Bergtiger, which is a nice thing, but again, not good unit preservation, and that's rather costing the 116th in the long run. Because while they have managed to kill, they are still losing a lot in the process, and the Allies just continue throwing things in. And while it's good if you kill them, if you lose your own units in the process, that's pretty much a bad thing. And now they are getting lots of artillery, which is going to make things harder. I really think the Axis probably ought to have been a bit more aggressive, not so defensive. They were a bit more aggressive, they probably had more resources, and they probably could have delivered a more proper killing blow. Sadly, they were not able to do so. Oh well. But how will the Allies win this? Well, if they can get some proper armor on the field, they might actually be able to knock out the Veteran C3 Panthers and the rest of the Hotchkiss and Hetzers and probably win this. The American just needs to get his bloody act together and stop doing utterly nonsensical things like getting lots of engineers and such. Very bad. Apparently he's lost all of his rangers. That could have been perhaps from that incendiary barrage right there on the base. In which case, good job. Looks like most of them were killed. For the Axis, they just need to stop losing units like that. They need to be a bit more aggressive. But they also need to be a bit more better at keeping their units alive. That seems to be their main issue. But let us return to the fight. This Monday novice fight. Again, novice. Hetzer on the move. Not entirely sure why he moves it in like that. It's a tank destroyer / light assault gun. It is not a tank. And it's certainly not a Panther. There we go. Heavy damage to the rear. Not looking good for the Hetzer. Needs to get away. Away. Looks like the Allies are turning its heart, and no, he's getting up barracks now. Engineers get sniped. Not entirely the best sort of thing to do that reveal that you have a sniper in their base now. Is he calling in artillery on a sniper? Well, at least it worked, actually. Impressively enough. And artillery on the 17-pounder. Well, hiccups. And now Firefly's getting called in by the 11th Armoured. The 2nd Armoured Division apparently only sending in its infantry and some rangers. Well, mechanized infantry for the win. Apparently machine gun emplacements, and he's still going for them. Has he learned nothing? My God, please, promise me, you novices up there, don't do like Gladiatop. Panthers getting pulled together, made ready for an assault. Another Panther arrives, my goodness, the 116th sending in all of its Panthers. Apparently that's a full platoon right there, or at least, well, short of one, since that already got blown up. Wait, that got pulled together there. Wait, never mind, but still, lots of Panthers, lots of deadly firepower. Volkswagen is engaging Rangers right there. And apparently lots of bazookas for these chaps. But nothing to really deal with the infantry. 4 bazookas, bloody hell. But the Panthers move in and put stop to that nonsense. Firefly on the field, from a command tank nearby. Heads are being a bit silly. Running straight into the Firefly, 17-pounder also turning around, and this Hetzer will be gone again. Why on earth he's throwing away Hetzers like that is absolutely beyond me. Don't move your Hetzers around like that. Panthers on the move through the northern road. What are they doing? Apparently going for a base assault. Not entirely sure what they hope to achieve. Allied armor could in fact flank them at any moment. Yes, indeed, 17-pounder moving in. And getting a nice range shot because the 17-pounder can fire pretty far. Will the Panthers react? No, they just keep moving further into the mess. Oh dear. Terrible armor tactics. Apparently hoping to knock out this howitzer, but they're taking quite some damage. Oh, Patriot, you stupid bastard. Why are you forsaking the fatherland so? Don't make me send you to the Eastern Front. I have you sent to the Eastern Front, and there we go. Panther getting knocked out. Oh dear. First Panzerkampfwagen 5 out of these 3. Will the others make it out there alive? Yes, they knocked out the howitzer, but that's about it. Other taking heavy damage. Oh dear, oh dear. And now they're trying to knock out the other. Yes, howitzer 2 knocked out. That's a small victory. Bergtiger putting together this Hetzer. Other Hetzer moving into support. Not entirely sure what's going on there. Seems a bit haphazard. But the Hetzer courageously protecting, and the other wreck gets wrecked. Even further artillery right there to protect this victory point. Oh dear, oh dear. And Bergtiger moves away. Will the Hetzer move away, or will it get lost again, like apparently all of your jon28jon's troops? No Yak Panther as of yet, actually, which is rather odd. You perhaps expected to see that at this stage. I mean, that could actually be of help, you know. Or a King Tiger. But neither seems to have materialized. 17-pounder gun firing away, although looking worse for wear. And getting bombarded. Where's the snipers? Apparently the snipers getting bombarded. Fascinating.
Do we have orders? Hotchkiss on standby.
Not an awful left, as you might have noticed. Very poor unit preservation on behalf of jon28jon28 again. Unit preservation is key. Don't waste units like that, and particularly don't send Hetzers and other units like that in unsupported. They are meant to be supported. You might notice the lack of a turret. That means send them in with support. They're there to support other units. Perhaps take up the fight if something big appears, and at least, you know, take most of the damage. But they're not supposed to be sent in on their own. You fool. It's the penal battalion for you, mate. I mean, I'm not talking the cozy cards, we're talking the ones on the Eastern Front where it's very cold and you have to clear out mines with a spoon. Mate. And hits another mine. Good mining, actually, by Mr. Gladiatop. That's the only good thing I have to say about him. Good mining. Still no armor. Bit. Sort of thought he had gone for armor, but there you go. Had been some time since seen this, but so, you know, mistakes can be made. And another V1. Wherever. Perhaps here. Yes, indeed. 17-pounder, and the sapper's trying to repair it. Turned into very, very, very squishy bits. More artillery getting prepared. Rangers charging ahead once more. Apparently it looks like a full Ranger battalion is getting sent in. A platoon at least. More heads is getting called in. My god, doesn't know, seems to know when to quit.
Steady up, man. Orders from Kompanieführer.
And now a King Tiger has arrived. Schwere Panzerabteilung 5-3 preparing to support with some very heavy armor. Oh dear, how shall this ever go? But looks like the Allies have the upper hand now, despite their best efforts at otherwise. Etzer's advancing, taking quite a bit of damage. Cromwell getting shot at. And looks like these Hotchkiss tanks are going to vanish in a cloud of fire and smoke. There we go. First Hetzer out. Second Hetzer needs to retreat. MG42 firing away from the bunker. Didn't look too good there. Sherman Firefly getting hit by the Hetzer. Oh dear, oh dear. Could the Hetzer win this? Apparently so. Going hull down though for the Firefly. Could extend its life a bit. Another Firefly hull down. And looks like a Hetzer is once more charging ahead. Hoping to knock out. And again, tank traps isn't going to do much. It's only going to prevent them moving right up to it. But then again, they can just shoot at it, mate. So why on earth are you using engineers to do that? That's absolutely a waste of time again. Except for mines, don't do like Gladiatop. He's terrible.
An enemy unit has fallen to our might. Ready to move.
Oh dear. Where's the King Tiger? And they continue sending in this armor without support. Are they insane? Just wishing for a posting on the Eastern Front? I have no idea. That's taking quite a bit of fire from the Churchill, it seems. King Tiger, Königstiger advances. So, yeah. Panther gets buttoned up and exposes its rear armor at the same time. My goodness. Hetzer and I need repairs. Firefly moving in to flank the... Hetzer moving in to flank the Firefly. Artillery getting called in this position but not doing much. Hetzer seems quite confident, but I'm not quite as much. King Tiger being used to clear out a machine gun emplacement rather than being here in the middle of the fight. Absolutely waste of a good King Tiger. What is going on in their heads is beyond me. And another Hetzer lost. Let's go look at Patriot, who beyond wasting King Tigers is up to what exactly? Not much.
We are ready to close with the enemy.
Not really the most cost-efficient way of doing things, I'd say. Frame rate acting a bit oddly. Let's try again. No, that's the back Tiger knocked out. Ranger Horde on the move. King Tiger is supposed to hold the line. Oh dear. No idea what's going on right now. Firefly move. No, Churchill actually. That's not going to help much against the King Tiger though. Heads getting hit in the rear by all of those bazookas. Churchill advances right at the King Tiger. Not entirely sure what he hopes to achieve. Volkswagen is moving in to protect the King Tiger. Rear armor keeps getting hit. Rangers, though, forced to retreat in the face of the Volksgrenadieren. Artillery getting called in the King Tiger. Get them out of there. Don't stand about. Panther moves in to support. Finally, a bit of support for the King Tiger. About bloody damn time. Firefly moves in. No further. Oh, there we go. A second Firefly. Hetzer charges forward. Panther comes under quite a bit of fire. Sabres also move in. Firefly's going hull down. Panther taking quite a bit of fire. But it is able to resist most of it. So the Fireflies, but now it seems as well. Not taking quite nearly as much. But still not enough to save them. Leaving behind only one Firefly to do the work. But again, going hull down, the Firefly doesn't take quite nearly as much damage as he could from the Panther. Oh dear, the Panther is turning about. One hit and it's gone. There we go, out of control. And now the King Tiger turns about. No. It apparently tries to take in on the Sherman Firefly from the front, or at least knock out the Cromwell command tank. Not entirely sure why it wants to do that. Although Veterans 1 makes the Firefly fire faster, I believe. So not a bad idea, actually. As it makes the Firefly even more lethal. Oh dear, no, now he's... What is he doing? Where's the support? Oh dear. This is criminal. Just criminal. And the King Tiger is no more. Königstiger is lost. And the Cromwell command tank goes veterancy free. Ooh, there's no maps there. Fancy that. At least that's what you might have been sitting up there. Rangers moving in, and looks like the German effort of the 116th Panzer Division has been absolutely shattered. Crushed. Having thrown away most of their remaining armor. The war, they can't really do much at this stage. Absolutely terrible conduct. Returning to Gladiatop, who's still gone for absolutely no armor. So again, very wrong of me saying there was second Armoured Division. But then again, mechanized infantry being used, I suppose, and Ranger support. Panther advancing. And getting hit by the Firefly. And they're coming under quite a bit of fire, but it looks like something's moving in. Volksgrenadiers. Artillery being called in.
Enemy unit down.
Mr. Gladiator apparently very fond of the artillery and of floating a ridiculous amount of resources. I mean, this is absolutely unforgivable. Plus all those command points. I mean, this guy is Christ. No, not he's Christ, but really bad. This is the sort of guy you demote afterwards and have him peeling potatoes for the rest of the war. Not lead further actions. I mean, the only thing that is saving the Allies due to Gladiator's terrible conduct is pretty much the fact that the Axis are pretty terrible as well. And Panzer Volkswagen is getting sniped down as they try to retreat. And Ostwind somehow arriving now to somehow fix things. Not entirely sure that's going to help. MG42 moving about. Oh, so very bad. And now a Churchill AVRE. Not entirely sure what he's hoping to achieve with that. Well, let's speed things up. Artillery getting called down.
Enemy unit down.
And Rangers are advancing on this position. And Bergtiger tries to make its way out of there. Oh dear, another Bergtiger lost. Not good at all, not good at all, not good at all. Sabers getting no, engineers getting shot to bits by the Ostwind. And right, looks like the Allies have suddenly turned things around, despite Gladiatop's best efforts. Could be he's a German spy actually, having managed to infiltrate the American command structure, but apparently somehow he's still yet to win. Which makes him a pretty terrible spy, but there we go. Panther getting knocked out, getting called up. And forced retreat propaganda war, but the Panther's still in the middle of everything, and he's still floating so much manpower. Oh gods. So much manpower. Heads are still holding the line somehow. Still no Yak Panther for Mr. jon28jon28, although at this stage it'd probably just be another waste in this huge colossal disaster of the 116th Panzer Division here in the bocage. And now artillery just flying through the air.
Enemy unit down.
And a bit of Hotchkiss fire right there. I mean, they're nice, but you know, it's not the sort of thing you're supposed to rely exclusively on, mate. Some infantry. Oh dear, he called in a Yak Panther. No. 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 9. How could you, you Doomkopf? That poor Yak Panther never did anything to you. jon28jon28. No, I really don't like that guy. Oh well. One mad dash for the 116th. Apparently now calling upon assets from the schwere Panzerjägerabteilung 653. Yes, indeed, I do believe that was one fighting there which did have Yak Panthers. No, actually two, but one actually had a bit of an odd combination of things, I believe. Including an odd sort of flak panzer based on the T-34, sort of like a Wirbelwind, except based on a T-34. Again, I believe that might have only showing on the eastern front. But Yak Panther. Oh dear. Not looking good at all. Americans moving forwards, and excessive use of tank traps there. He's almost close to penning in his own troops, or his own armor. Not good at all. I recommend Strawberrycake getting a bloody move on. Hotchkiss in the line of fire, needs to get out of there. No, apparently not.
One of our units was enemy unit and firm allies. Battle is ours.
And now the Yak Panther charges ahead and gets flanked. Oh, the inhumanity. Tries to leave. Oh, exposing the rear armor. Come on. And due to the command tank, as you might have noticed, they actually fire pretty quick. Pioneers nearby, but not trying to repair Yak Panther. Yak Panther tries to escape, having rather realized what a terrible commander he's serving under. Run, Yak Panther, run! Drive, I mean. Oh no. Well, this is quite a sad fight, but again, novice Monday fight. Sometimes you really have to show stuff like this to really nail it home. In some cases, the bits about unit preservation, using armor, not using tank traps like a maniac, and not just relying on engineers for the first 10 bloody minutes of the game.
Enemy unit down.
Oh well. Firefly advancing, right for this fight, another Bergtiger arriving, my goodness. And Yak Panther turning around, gets knocked out. Bergtiger of course can pull it together, but will it happen? I have no idea. Shots bouncing off the Firefly. Bergtiger getting shot up, and again they are rather nice easy targets. When they're doing stuff like that, they in fact take more damage than they normally do.
The enemy is down to 25
And another shot there, Bergtiger's gone, and Patriot bailing out, rather realizing this might be his last chance before the military police comes to take him away for the Eastern Front. But trust me, he won't be getting away. It's a penal battalion for him. Clearing out mines with a spoon in the frozen ground. Volkswagen is getting shot to pieces. And there we go. jon28jon28 joining in with his partner in crime, and also gets picked up for, again, spoon mine clearing on the Eastern Front. In a particularly desolate and very going to be blown over by Soviets very soon sort of place. So there you go. What didn't we learn from this front? Well, we learned a lot of negative things. Don't do this, don't do that. I mean, don't rely solely on engineers. I mean, we saw how terribly that did. Don't place your headquarters right at the front. Don't just stand about when it gets hit. Retreat it, unpack and retreat, unpack and retreat. Don't lose men like Strawberrycake did like that. And of course, don't float that much manpower and fuel by all that is holy. Do not do that. If you have a suspicion that your teammate is doing that, tell him to stop mucking about and get on with it, or just simply leave. I mean, this is utterly intolerable. You might not using your command points probably, but also poor unit preservation on the part of the Axis. They threw away tanks, they threw away infantry, but mostly tanks and Panthers and King Tigers and that Yak Panther. Absolutely criminal. I mean, again, stuff like that gets you sent to the Eastern Front, and it's not for anything good at all. At least sort of salvaging there on the effort of Strawberrycake, which is sort of nice. Rangers used decently, I suppose, but again, could have been used better at the same time, and certainly not just throwing them away. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match, or at least that you learned something vital from it. Like, for example, don't do things like Gladiatop or these two chaps. Absolutely goddamn horrible, criminal, and all that. So there you go. Cheers.